we have not talked about it yet much this week. Your team got off the schneid this weekend.
Cool. Yay.
They beat Lafayette, although the first half, buddy.
They were trailing. I had the nicest guy in the world that does media, Mike Yam, on the broadcast halftime going, not where you want to be in the first half of Lafayette being 0-7, do you, Michael Bumpus? And he's like, nope, no, you don't.
No, you don't. Has anybody ever stole more money from a place than what has happened at quarterback at Oregon State? $1.5 million?
Oh, yeah, come on. In the NIL era?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Jaden Rashada?
Did he ever actually get paid by Florida, though? He left. I don't think he got the money, and that's why he left.
What did he get paid at ASU? What did he get paid
I don't know what he got paid at ASU. Yeah. He's got a lot of money. And he's not going to play the rest of the season, but they got to win.
Have they announced that? I don't.
I mean, why would you play him another snap the rest of the season?
I agree with that. I just didn't know if they had announced.
I don't think they've announced anything yet, but that's not gone well. It's not all his fault. Their offensive line hasn't been good. They haven't been able to run the ball. Like, I'm not putting it all on Malik Murphy.
It's a bad mix.
It was a bad miss. He also just is not good. And so, you might as well start Jabari Johnson and see what you got the rest of the way. That wasn't the most noteworthy thing that came out of the game, though. So they did beat Lafayette. They covered the spread. They had a big second half. I was happy for the players for getting a win. It's been a long year for them. So they get to celebrate in the locker room after the game. But two things that became noteworthy from this game. One of them was what happened in the aftermath of it, and we'll get to that in a moment. Before we do, though, let's get to what happened before the game. So this was on KEZI. They had a reporter there for the game checking in. Hey, what's going on in Corvallis?
Liv Clear, I think is her name.
Liv Clear is the name? Okay. So she's doing her stand-up report, and here's how it went.
But football is, you can definitely tell there is a new play caller in town. The offense is looking, the offense is looking a lot more versatile. They're getting their tight end in there with more reps. Still seem really characteristic with the running game, but definitely seeing a lot more passes from Malik Murphy to Trent Walker. And I think even though the game is tied, the offense has looked entirely different, and we'll see how it goes through the second half of this game.
Stop! 22 years old, by the way.
So I'm an old. I don't really get the 6'7" thing. It's. I see that's a thing.
It's becoming. It's been a thing for a minute with the younger people, but like it's kind of to a point now. Like I was at my niece's birthday. My daughter's soccer team. They picked 6'7" legends.
Okay.
My niece and nephew are in high school, and like. I understand where it's from and how it got created and how it's like the thing for the, age range from obviously 8 to high school.
Sure.
It's becoming a little too much. Like they're just all saying it way too much. And I'm like, why is this still funny to everybody? Like, and obviously it goes to college because there you go. There's college kids doing it.
You heard him at the end. He's 22 years old.
The 6'7" thing. It's like, this was, I think 2 or 3 months ago.
And it still just hasn't died.
They say it all the time.
Yeah, look, there's a balance here every time this stuff comes up with college kids. Because on the one hand, I think as an adult, you see these videos. I've now reached the point where I'm telling cars in my neighborhood to slow down as they drive by. So
I'm doing the same thing mentally. I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking it.
Hey, you slow down over there! As they drive by going 24 miles an hour instead of 19. There's kids that live in this neighborhood. So, life comes at you pretty quick.
It does.
And my reaction as an old watching that was, can somebody punch that kid in the face? I want that kid
very unlikable looking kid.
A right hook to the nose. That's all he needs, and everything will be settled. And that's, to me, the law of the land that should exist of, if you're going to be that big of a douche in person, somebody should be able to, without any legal repercussions, punch you as hard as they want in the face. While also acknowledging I was a pretty big idiot when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old.
22 according to the audio of that.
At the end. So there's this weird balance of I really want that kid to get punched in the face while I did a lot of really stupid stuff when I was in college.
Yeah.
And there's a balance there. Credit to the reporter for carrying through And I don't know why the studio wasn't just like, you know what? Why don't you go find it? We're gonna bring it back in the studio. Why don't you go find a different place to broadcast from or do a live hit from, and we'll check back in with you in a minute or two.
The only thing I was curious about, because I'm certainly not going to blame the station or the reporter, but we see college kids be stupid all the time, you know? Think about how many coach interviews on the field after a big upset or celebration. You get stupid kids in the background.
Yeah, you get Chip Kelly saying, hey, would you guys shut up?
Yeah, I'm more kind of curious, like, why the stand-up was chosen to be on the concourse instead of, like, on the field where students...
It's a great point.
Weren't going to... And I know they stormed the field, which is an entirely other
we'll get
old
to that
man conversation for me because, God, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But usually you do these stand-ups on the field, and I was just kind of curious why it was chosen to be on the main concourse where drunk people are going to be...
Clearly a bad idea.
Yeah, and again, not their fault. They're not. They don't know who's going to interrupt a newscast.
I have no idea.
Really interrupting her, but
yeah,
I was more kind of curious about that.
Yeah, I really want that kid to get punched in the face. Somebody said, "Can we just go back to making 69 the joke?" Like, yeah, what happened to that? I thought, it's right there. It's really close numbers wise. That's not still the joke, and it's funny.
Yeah.
The 6-7 thing is weird. I don't get it, but I'm also old and out of touch with modern day society. You mentioned it in the outcome of the game. So they beat Lafayette on Saturday night.
Yeah, they did. They're 1-7.
They will not go winless.
That was one of my 3 wins I thought they could have.
They could have 2 more.
I don't know if
they could have 2 more. You never know.
I think they beat Sam Houston. That's one.
That should be a win.
More.
They almost went into that game winless together with Sam Houston because I think Sam Houston is also winless, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct there.
And shout out to the Huskies who, people don't forget, 0-12. That still exists. And Morgan State is now off the schneid from falling into that category. But in the aftermath of winning the game, the fans stormed the field. There weren't many of them there to begin with.
I was going to say, it wasn't like there was...
It wasn't a packed house.
8,000 students on the field.
We played the fun game of how much money would they have had to pay you to go to that game for a 7 p.m. kick against Lafayette and then stay the entire time? Because that number's relatively high for me.
What is that number?
It has to involve a comma, right?
It definitely has to be a comma in there.
I think we're at least at 5 numbers. Anything shy of 10 grand.
5 numbers?
To go to the game and stay the entire game.
If I gave you 3,000 cash,
I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm doing it for 3 grand.
Yeah, you are.
I don't think I would do it for 3 grand. I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
3 grand untaxed?
To stay up until 10 p.m., 11 p.m., drive home from Corvallis.
Sleep in.
It's cold as hell. Was it raining on Saturday night?
No, I don't know if it rained. I would have taken 3 grand to do that, but I would have needed 3 grand to want to do that.
Going anywhere near that game. But the fans stormed the field after the 45-13 win, and that, while some viewed it as a, good for you, it's been a long year.
Yeah, I get that.
Some people also said, you just beat an FCS team that you were trailing at halftime or tied at halftime. No, trailing at halftime. 13-10. They were losing at halftime to the Lafayette Leopards, which we didn't know.
They're the Leopards?
They are the Leopards. We didn't know they were a school until Oregon State announced their football schedule.
Why do they have no leopard stuff on their uniforms? It's like crimson and white.
Yeah, the color scheme's not good.
That was weird.
You got to go full Jag at that point. But
this is my old man thing. Like, I don't really care about court storming or field storming. Like, I get it. It's part of what college is. I kind of tend to lean with let students have fun when they have massive upsets. This is where age catches up with you. I saw that and I just went, oh, that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. In fact, it reminded me when Oregon State was ranked top 10 and they went to Washington and they chose Mannion over Vaz. You remember that season?
I do, yeah.
And they ended up losing to an unranked Husky team in, it might have been in Lumen Field. Washington Husky fans stormed the field.
They were down bad then.
They were. And Oregon State was top 10. But I remember Dave Softy Mahler was right behind me and went, field storming for the Beavers. This is embarrassing. And I'm kind of like.
He's not wrong.
I'm there.
And you're not wrong.
Lafayette?
Yeah. It's one thing if you wanted, hey, we haven't had a chance to celebrate it. Let's go run around on the field kind of thing. Or go to a party. Take a football down and chuck it around. But yeah, if you're a student and you're still at that game, go booze. Go have fun after the game.
It's been a long year.
It's been a very long year. I know. It was almost like a perfect encapsulation of Oregon State's season.
Yeah.
When in the night that they finally going to win, not that anybody was going to give them flowers for beating Lafayette. If anything, we probably would have just told them to shut down the program if you lose that game. Like, what's the point in continuing? But the 2 biggest highlights of the game for many people ended up being a local reporter having her live hit interrupted by an idiot yelling 6'7" the entire time, and then fans storming the field. And it almost became bigger stories than what actually happened on the football field. That video of her getting interrupted it was all over the place yesterday.
Yeah.
Every outlet reported it. Check out these boneheaded idiot dumbass fans down in Corvallis.
Dude, she might get a job out of this with a bigger network because of how she handled herself.
She handled herself very well. I don't know how would you have handled yourself if you're in that spot? You turn around and tell them to shut up. You keep going. You power through.
I think you have to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to say you do that, but I think in reality, you don't want to be on camera being the super unprofessional person.
Shoving a college kid to the ground. But that's the other part of it, too. Like, if that was not a young female reporter, are you going up and doing that?
No, I
don't know if they would. Maybe they would have because they were just drunk idiots. And again, college kids could be drunk idiots.
Yeah,
so.
you lit Oregon State's field on fire.
Hey. I did not light anything on fire, okay? I was not there at that game. I did not attend. I watched that one on television.
Don't worry, though. That Beeve committee is going to really nail the coaching hire.
Yeah, they also announced a coaching search committee led by, you guessed it, Scott Barnes. Brandon Cooks is on the committee. Does that make you feel any good?
I mean, I'm glad he's involved with the program, but like this literally screams of I'm choosing a guy who just publicly called it out.
He did.
And by the way, this is an OSU committee. They're going to also hire a search firm.
Yeah, we got an OSU committee and a search firm. Mike Riley is on your search firm. Does that make it feel good?
He's on our committee.
Or your committee, excuse me.
Not
your
the
committee.
firm.
That's true. I got my two things mixed up there.
Yeah.
I don't know who has the final say whether
Read
it's the
the list
committee or
of the
firm.
committee, by the way. Do you have it?
I'll try and find it here. They're
it's
athletics.
Brandon Cooks.
Okay, I know Brandon Cooks and Mike Riley were on it.
It's Mike Riley, and then it's like a Reeser is on that list. A former soccer player is on that list. And like they all have OSU ties, obviously, but I'm like, do these people know the best names in college football?
No, they don't. They're not plugged in. It's almost just, I saw too another fluff piece of like Scott Barnes trying to say, no, not all these people agree with me. This shows why I'm a good athletic director, because I've hired people to come in who have differing opinions. Oh, God. Yeah, there's no way you screw this up. This is all going to end well. So Oregon State got their first win of the year. Congratulations to the Beavers. You will not go winless.
Yeah.
And Huskies, we don't forget, man. We don't forget. That will live in infamy.